Hello everyone, this is Gorax, and today I'm going to show you an amazing Thunderbolt team that is doing over 100 million damage easily against Aschetius. I'll also show you different variants of this team as I've been testing that, with Radiant supports, even Lightning supports, we have eventually a chance to test different supports rather than damage dealers, as Thunderbolt has only 2 damage dealers, per Kunte and Orphina. So I believe Radiance is the best against this boss when it comes to supports, because we need debuff immunity. And if we look at the heroes, if we just go here and do debuff block, we can see all the heroes that are there. And if we place on Lightning Radiance, you can see multiple choices available to you. But first, the important thing, during my tests, I have no access to any of the guild buffs or the buffs that we have available after finishing the missions. I have maxed out the Psychic Core, as you should be able to do it as well before we deal with the endgame boss. As I said, this team is probably the easiest when it comes to surviving the whole 8 minutes and also applying multiple debuffs and having debuff immunity. So we'll start with Vasila, who I believe is the best hero available for us during this endgame boss. We're gonna put Horn on her because she will heal us with her ultimate and also the battle skill. We'll put Ancestral Protection, Enlightenment set, and we'll focus on defense and enlightenment. The reason for that is we're going to use Mashtur, and Mashtur will focus on HP. Remember, the boss targets the hero with the highest HP and totally reduces the hero ultimate. We can't have that on Asila because she will not be able to cast the debuff immunity. So we need to have someone else to do that. And in our case, I went with Mashtur because he can apply attack penalty, recharge speed penalty, accuracy penalty. He grants control immunity as well. And also he grants shield and protects our damage dealer, which in our case will be Per Kunte. So Per Kunte will be able to survive the whole battle. We could change things around and make Orphina be able to survive the whole battle, but 90% of the chance is both of them will survive. So Mashtur will use Cyril set here. We have Iola. We could use Cyril set on Iola too, or other offensive set, and we have Witches Remain on her. The reason why we have Witches Remain on her is because she will follow our damage dealer's rotation, while Mashtur will be casting his ultimate whenever, as he's gaining constant energy, and it's really hard to time him, and I would prefer not to, because remember, the boss will drain his ultimate. So as you saw, Iola here applying attack penalty and Witches Remain. The main damage dealers, there's only 2 Thunderbolt heroes. So Orphina is amazing. We're gonna use Great River Lamp on her. If you want, you can use Poison of Swamp as well. If you don't have River Lamp, it will work well with Asila constantly healing us. And we're only running 1 healer here, so that's interesting as well. But shields are enough to keep our damage dealers alive. Obviously, Dominator set here, Echo of War, the best auto attack set, and Precise Carnage. So we're aiming for like 82% crit rate and as much crit damage as possible. And then we have Per Kunte. As I said, I'm going to use Emissary Whisper sets going forward because the Shade of Death set is backed, but I will prefer Shade of Death set here. We're aiming for like 90%, 85% crit rate and as much crit damage as possible, which we can get through this. And good gloves, as obviously I don't have good access to good equipment here. When it comes to skill timings, as I know this is important, we follow the idea here that we want debuff block, debuff immunity before the boss's skill here that has a chance to apply all these debuffs. So we want that, and Asila will then apply also this extra healing over time until the ultimate of the boss, so we can make sure we have enough HP. We will have attack penalty pretty much constantly through both Mashtur and Iola's ultimate, so that's safe and sound. The rotation of the damage dealers is Iola is first, then shortly after we have Orphina, who will stack this overload for Per Kunte, and Per Kunte goes later, okay? So that ensures he's got as many stacks as possible before he unleashes hell. And this is why it's important for Iola to be with the same rotation as they are. and Master is on default, as you can see. Now, this is not the only variant I've tried. As you can see, I've tried multiple variants here. So, as you know, Orphina works really well with Dauntless heroes like Shaltar or Ivelios, and the team that you can see on the screen, following the same idea with those two as supports, is doing roughly 94 million, with the team dying a little bit. Now, obviously, with addition of the extra buffs that we can get, this team will have no issues surviving, which means in theory it might actually outdamage this team on the screen. I also tried adding Thunderbolt heroes in, and it didn't work. Nissa was a failure. We died way earlier and she didn't do much damage, so there was no point. Now, when it comes to Shinakten, thanks to his ultimate that is boosting, that's giving attack up to both Orphina and Perkunte, we had an easy time going over 95 million, which, as you can see, is outdamaging the Shaltar version. So if we can keep this team alive with all the buffs available to us on the global server, this might be a better team than the one with Shaltar, but obviously you might not have Shinakten. Now, I tried replacing Asila with Mephrisi and a few other heroes because I really want this debuff immunity, and as you can see, the damage went down to 82 million quite significantly. Although we have a revival and healing, we can't really survive as good as with Asila. Then I try replacing Mashtur with someone available to most of us, which is Nathaniel, and again, a little bit more damage done with Mashtur because we had an extra sustain here, but it's still nowhere close to the teams with Asila. And then the next team is for those of you who don't have good support. So if you don't have Asila, if you don't have Mashtur, I've tried running Catherine because this is the team that I can run, okay? So with Catherine, if we go quickly here for the equipment, let's call it the budget support team. We have Ardref with the horn. She will be taken, the boss's ultimate, but we're not worried as she's got a really low cooldown on her ultimate. We need to make sure Catherine is able to cast this debuff immunity, and she does, but her healing is a little bit lackluster because beside her ultimate, we don't really have much healing, much AoE healing like Asila for that example, and the damage dealers are very similar, and the rotation here is pretty much the same, as you can see. Now, the last team is using Master, is using basically 3 supports to make sure our damage dealers survive. And as you can see, the damage difference is quite good, 12 million damage difference. But that again means we're running 3 supports, and I don't think we need to run 3 supports once we have access to all the buffs from Otherworld Exploration. So overall, I think when it comes to building Thunderbolt, Dauntless teams, which you will see probably later on, even Rally and Aura, it will be way easier as we have access to multiple very good supports. But obviously, our numbers are not infinite, so we can probably build maybe 2 teams. So in my example, I'll probably even try pulling for Asila, as she will be available in the Blessed banner. So there is a banner that will have Asila, Vinyara, and I think even Orphina there. I might actually pull for it because looks like Asila is still very useful. She's very good at PvE content. So yeah, she will definitely help me, but I'll need to decide. It's 4 days from now. Let me know if you can build this team. If not, what teams you think you'll run, because obviously I will cover the Dauntless teams as well. The Dauntless teams will have the same supports as this works. What I'm gonna change is the damage dealers and see which one does better, Nastienka or Perkunte and Orphina. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you for watching, stay safe, bye!